Hi, this is Dr. Kimberley Linert, author of Visualizing Happiness in Every Area of Your Life and host of this podcast, Incredible Life Creator. And today I have with me Eileen Head. Hey, Eileen.
Hi.
So happy to have you and to share with people what you are doing now. So, just so people can know you, I'm going to read your bio. Using the law of attraction and manifesting practices, Eileen Head mentors you to live your best life, thrive, and have more fun. Eileen is an intuitive Enneagram personality pattern and relationship coach, speaker, hypnotherapist, and Reiki master. Whether you are looking to experience your bucket list, attain your ideal career, deepen your relationship, or attract your ideal partner, she teaches you how to release patterns that are sabotaging you so that you can raise your consciousness and manifest your dreams. She mentors you to unlock your true potential and fire the alchemy of the law of attraction to manifest more love, adventure, and fun. We all want all of that.
More adventure and fun. Come on, right?
That's right. So tell me your story because I know you didn't start out there.
Oh man, we never start out there, right? Yeah, I married my high school sweetheart, met him at 16, married him at 18, come from a small farming town. That's what you did, and thought we'd be married forever. And unfortunately, we just were not able to connect. We were like good business partners. We worked well together. We had the same values, morals, goals, but the emotional part was not there. And as the years went on, that really took a toll on me because, as I later learned, my personality is all about relationships and caring and nurturing and connection. And so I started to have some medical, some things tapping me on the shoulder. And then my spiritual side started to open up, and I started getting messages. You better start taking care of yourself. The messages started coming in, and that I needed to do what was best for me. And it was very difficult because he's a very nice man. But I left the 35-year marriage. And apparently, we looked so great on the outside that all of our friends of 25 years voted me off the island. And so I started over with a whole new life. And I've been single for since 2005 and have enjoyed that as well.
Mhm. Wonderful. So, when you were voted off the island, were you still living in that small community?
Yeah, it was a karate group, and my sons were still competing, and so it was very difficult. I would walk in, and people would turn away, and they'd be angry with me, and come face to face, and oh, it was yeah, it was pretty eye-opening. I was even sitting one time at a tournament and talking to a lady, and her husband's across the room, and he's going, get away from her, get away from her. There was all kinds of things going on. The men were really, it really rocked them. There were women getting, one got a new BMW, one got diamond earrings, and another one got an engagement ring, even though they've been married for 15 years. So it kind of rocked everybody's world. But what I came to realize was that you need to have the same values to be within your group. And my value changed that it's not okay to stay married to someone I no longer loved. I felt I was out of integrity to stay there. And I was not honoring him or myself. And so that's when I found the Enneagram personalities, and that opened up my whole world.
Got it. So, did he have any indication at all that you were about to fly?
Oh, of course. I had told him over and over and over again. And, after the dust settled and, a year or so later, and I said, why wouldn't you come with me? Why wouldn't you get help? And he said, well, I thought I was a good husband. I worked hard, and I thought it would just all work out in the end.
Mhm.
But I give him
Disappointed.
many indications, and he just never believed it.
Wow. Wow. So, when did this? transition start for you? So you were still married, obviously. What was there an event or a thought or a realization that happened at a period where you just realized I'm not happy or I'm not fulfilled or what happened?
Oh, probably about a year after I was married, I realized, and so there was a lot of stress, between us. I wasn't able to talk to him. If I would attempt to talk to him, he would close down and then he wouldn't talk to me for days, because he didn't know how to communicate. And I didn't know how to do anything different. I tried many different things, talking to him, trying to get him to go to counseling, did many, many things. And just as I was walking out the door and he knew I was serious, he said, well, let's take a relationship course. And of course I went, are you kidding me now? Like, I've already processed all this. I'm already done. I'm just walking out the door. And I said, okay, I will do that. And the only thing we could find was the Enneagram
Uh-huh.
personalities. And the Enneagram, people either go the Ennea what, or they go, oh, the Enneagram. It is one of the most advanced models for bringing you to consciousness of who am I? How do I think? How do I feel? How do I react? How do I feel emotionally loved? What do I bring to a partnership? And how can I grow? How can I raise my consciousness to become the best person I can be? And so when I read my profile, it was like reading my own biography. It was like, this is what people value in me. Oh, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. And then there was stuff that kind of stung. It was like, ooh, I don't like those parts, but I knew they were there. And see, that's the beauty. When we come to consciousness of the patterns of what we're doing, then we can consciously change them. We can elevate our life, our consciousness, and we can grow.
Yeah. Wow. And when you told your kids what was happening, what was their reaction?
They weren't surprised. They knew I had been unhappy for a long, long time. And of course, were they surprised that we finally separated initially? No. But right after I left, one of my sons said to me, Mom, I have never seen you so happy.
Mm.
And because of my Enneagram training, I was able to transition all of us, including my ex-husband, to make things very peaceful. We still got together for family dinners once a month. We all got together because it wasn't the kids' issue, it was our issue.
Mhm.
And I wanted to make that as easy for them as possible.
Mhm.
But it's a time when I felt, these friends who were so angry and were rejecting me and judging me. I had never felt so powerful because the Enneagram gave me the foundation to know who I was and to understand why they were acting the way they were from their personality types.
Mhm. Yeah, and I'm not suggesting that anyone leave a relationship right now, but if someone is feeling like they're not getting their needs met, like they're just not able to work through things, what would where you are now, looking back, if you could look back at yourself and tell yourself something that first year of marriage, what would you have told yourself?
I would have told myself, but see, I didn't have the um, timing is everything. I needed to grow within myself to be strong enough to go out on my own,
Mhm.
right? And I had two children. I adopted one and then got pregnant quickly. And so, life happened. And it wasn't a bad life. It was just emotionally painful for me. And so I coach people on stay or go. And many relationships I have turned around when I take each of their personalities and I put them together and I help them to understand this is why they're reacting this way. Or I give the person scripting of how they can communicate of what's happening for them, or understanding the patterns that personality is only a survival technique we learned as a child, and we have these patterns. Couples can come together and grow. I had a couple that was married for 25 years. They broke up. It was not a good situation. I actually counseled her to leave him because it wasn't a good situation. And he came to me and he said, "Tell me what to do. I'll do anything you tell me." So I did 10 days of intensive coaching with their personalities. And they said the conversations they had were just so deep and meaningful and understanding. And, he said, "I didn't realize I was rolling my partner. I was running over. I thought I was leading us, and I wasn't. I was controlling." And then she needed to learn to speak up and create boundaries. And so if you are still there and you are still wanting to make this work, it truly can. And you don't need your partner to engage. I have coached women who've come to me, and I've helped them understand and to go back to their partners and say, "Tell me if this is true about you. I didn't realize that." Or, "Here's what I'm working on for me. Did you see this pattern I have? This must have drove you crazy.
Mhm.
I'm working on this." And the partner goes, "Oh, wow, it's not all about me."
Mhm.
And you really can, if you're still there, you really can.
Yeah, that's so inspiring, and people need to know that.
Yeah. You know what? We're just personality patterns.
Mhm.
Unconscious personality patterns. And then when you see the patterns, it's like beliefs. Your beliefs are unconscious and they're running you. And then once they come to the surface and you look at them and you go, "Well, this doesn't make any sense anymore. I don't really believe this anymore." Boom, that belief has gone away. I once said to my brother, "Have you opened your mouth and mom or dad fell out with this statement?" And "I don't even believe this. Like, why is this coming out of my mouth?" And it's that unconscious stuff comes out, right? So
Mhm.
it's about creating consciousness. It's about being able to manifest and raise your frequency to create the adventure and the fun and the relationships you're yearning for.
Yeah. So, how do we actively get into that awareness? Like, oh, yes, I'm being my mom right now. How do
It
you
is.
actively do that to, like, on a just day-to-day basis, like a practice?
Well, the Enneagram gives it to you, gives you all the patterns. So when you're triggered, when I'm triggered for my personality, I know it's because I feel I'm not being needed. I feel rejected. So those are two of the themes within my two personality. There's 9 personalities, and I'm a number 2, supporter, helper, giver. And so when I get triggered, I can look at that and say, "This is all about you. Everybody's an actor on your stage. This is a life lesson coming to you. Do you see it? Do you see what the trigger is? What's underneath that? What are the feelings? What are the emotions underneath that?" And I can go internally and I can begin to work on that, or work on that with a coach who will lead you through that and help you to understand that and accept it and go, "Ah, yes, that's what I'm feeling." And you can either engage with the other person, but generally it's not about them.
Mhm.
It's all about us. And as you bring more consciousness to this, those things get healed and they go away until you're triggered again. I mean, we're layers and there's different things that come up, but I catch them really quickly now.
Mm. Wow. And I was thinking about I might have a similar personality to the lady you were talking about because um I put in boundaries, but then I feel like even the boundaries are rolled right over and it's like, okay, do I not have boundaries or are people just not paying attention to my boundaries? So how do you set a boundary? Because one of my survival things is if someone just tries to break down my boundary and they do it more than once, I just kind of cut them off. I mean, I just don't even I keep them in a far distance. So yeah, yeah, you can be around me, but from this distance because you're going over the boundary that I've set.
So I give my clients scripting in those situations, and we role play. And so what I would say to you is I would role play. I would say to the other person, are you open to some feedback? I'd like to share with you what happens when I set a boundary and you don't respect my boundary. I either need to push you away and shut you off. What I'd really like to do is I'd really like you to honor my boundary. And my boundary is this. And then you're going to need to stand on the boundary. And it's not like people are going to pick it up right away if this is a new pattern for you. And so you're going to say, so going forward, I'm going to remind you. And I might just say something. I have a bound. You don't need to say it aggressively. As a matter of fact, sometimes the softer you say things, the more effective they are. And so you can say, can I remind you that this is one of my boundaries? And I'm going to ask you not to push my boundary. Then you can have a conversation about that, right? And the other person can, it can go into all sorts of things. Well, you're just trying to be controlling. No, my boundary is, see, that's where your power comes from. That's where you build your own value. That's where you stand on owning who you are and what you believe in.
Mhm.
And I'll tell you, it gets easier because I used to write things down and my hands would be shaking and I'd try and talk and I'd get a bit out and then I wouldn't finish it. And it's like a muscle that you need to grow. Now I'm very comfortable speaking out. I was in a store today and there was this big lineup and there was one cashier and there were two women with their backs to the thing doing whatever. And so I walked up and I said, do you have any other cashiers? She kind of looked at me and she turned around and one opened and then another opened. And as I walked back in line, two or three other women said, thank you for doing that.
Mhm.
So I didn't need to be aggressive, but I've learned to be uh, somewhat direct, but sometimes I know I'm there to teach other people a lesson too. And if they react to me and they don't like what I'm saying, I'm an actor on their stage. In this moment, I might be teaching them. They might not like it. They may push me away. I need to let go of outcome
Mhm.
of the situation. So in your situation, let go of outcome. If you don't follow my boundaries, here's what's going to happen. I value your friendship. I would like to keep it. However, this is what I need.
Mhm.
And you practice that. You practice it in the mirror. You practice it. I practice it with my clients all the time.
Yeah, and playing is really important in so many situations. I know for sales, we do role playing. So why not do playing for life, which is a lot more important than making a sale?
And I'm single. I are you single?
Yes.
What I've learned is that women are very quick to cut men off. You know what? You didn't do that. Boom. Next, he's out of there. But a lot of men would be open to learning if we were willing in the right attitude to teach them. What I don't like is what I would prefer you to do, what I value about you, what I really like about you. Um, what I feel in this situation when this happens is this: watch your tone, watch how forceful you say things, be very soft. I never realized how sensitive men are. We are quick to cut them off at the legs. And um, we can teach others how to treat us. We really can.
That's beautiful. So for the people who don't really know what you're talking about when you say Enneagram, I mean, I'm familiar because I've been in the personal development space for years, but some people don't know what it is. So can you kind of give us just a skeleton look at the different personalities maybe or how you use it?
Yeah. So the Enneagram has been around since the 1700s. It's a very sophisticated personality model, more sophisticated than Myers-Briggs or Colors or any of those other ones because it has a path of development. It shows you your patterns and it shows you exactly for your personality, how to change those patterns and elevate them. There's 9 personality types. There's 9 personality patterns, survival patterns that are identified. The patterns are very identifiable. When you learn the 9 personalities, you can immediately sort of understand the person, even though you may just have met them. So the first one is a perfecter or a perfectionist. The second one is the supporter giver. The third one is the achiever. The fourth one is the expressor, the emotional type. The fifth one is the intellectual, the contemplator. The sixth one is the questioner. They are the anxiety-based ones. The 7 is the optimister. They're the whoop, whoop, whoop. Everything needs to be fun all the time. The 8 is the asserter, and the 9 is the peace seeker. We have all of these patterns within us, but each of those personalities has a focus of attention outward. So the peace seeker is focused on peace, not realizing that by not speaking up, by avoiding conflict, they actually create more conflict.
Mm.
Right? The 2's neediness to help and be needed is intrusive. So when you start to see the patterns and you go, oh, and now I can change those. It is the basis of all my coaching. It is the basis of my manifesting. I have manifested, I've studied the vibrational frequency, the words that you use, the thoughts that you have, the beliefs that you have to raise your frequency so that you can bring in manifesting. And I've brought in amazing things as we chatted about.
Mm-hmm. And does that have anything to do with your personality? What people with different personalities doing it in a different way?
No, you would manifest for the needs of your personality, right? So for the 3 achiever, they want to manifest goals and success and houses and cars and that sort of thing. The peace seeker, they're wanting peace and harmony and so but everybody wants fun and adventure. I was when I first started learning the frequency and the manifesting, I was playing pickleball as I do most every day, and it was the fall, and a lot of my friends were going south for the winter. And I thought, I'd really like to go somewhere, but I'm single. I don't have a lot of money. I would love to go to a beach vacation, but I didn't know the how. I put it out there. I even talked to people. All of a sudden, a friend of a friend calls me up and he says, hey, I hear you want to go. You want to go to a beach. And I said, oh, I'd love that. He said, well, I have a condo on the beach in Puerto Morales, Mexico, and I will rent it to you for $100 Canadian per week, per person for 2 weeks. Who does that?
Mm-hmm.
See, I didn't need to know the how. I just put it out there. And then I had another friend almost at the same time said, well, I'm going to Mazatlan and I've got a 2-bedroom condo. Why don't you come check it out there? And so I went there before I went to Puerto Morales, stayed there for 2 weeks and thought, I really like this. And I said, I'm going to come back in January, February, March. And they went, no, you'll never get in here. It's always rented. And I looked around and I could just feel within myself. And I said, no, I'm going to get a place.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. January, February, March. Then I rented for the next year and the next year. And I'm going back for my 4th year now. I have manifested so many things. Selling my house for $45,000 over what any realtor told me I would ever get in a repressed market in 3 weeks. And if I showed you my vision board, I could show you the house that I had on my vision board to what I bought to the tree out front. It is almost identical. End unit, walkout basement, hillside bungalow, adult community. We need to see it. We need to create it.
Mm-hmm. So how do you do that? Is it just vision boards? So, vision boards have been around for a while in different forms, some on a poster board, some on a computer.
Well, the reason vision boards are so effective is we need to create images in our minds. And then we need to feel the experience of what we're looking for. I've just created a new program where I'm going to help people create the manifesting words and statements that are so important, and then to do a vision board for them. This is a custom one-on-one. I also have a Live Your Best Life coaching program where I go through beliefs and sabotaging patterns and raising your frequency, reframing your processes, heal your trauma. That's how you do it. And then it starts to roll from there. So if you raise your frequency today, maybe you think a positive thought and you hold it for 17 seconds. That's raised you up. And then you raise another one, and you raise another one. And there's different emotions. I have a thing, I don't know if that's on my website. I'll have to put that on there. Of the different emotions, joy, happiness, or if you're going down, fear, worry, anxiety takes your frequency down. And so those are things I help people with. And I know it works because it's working for me.
Yeah. So what's something simple someone can do to raise their frequency? I mean, you said about keeping a thought, but I've heard, I think it was Abraham Hicks say, just try and think of something that's just even a little bit better than where you're at, especially let's say you're down in depression. Just think of something, just something that would make a little bit better. Like, how do you do it? How do you
The
teach?
most effective thing is gratitude. Get up in the morning and take 10, 15, 20 minutes. Summertime here, I go out on my deck, there's a chair, and I look out, and it's gratitude. Gratitude for my life, for my health, for my body, for loving of coaching, for my family, for breathing, for find gratitude, keep building the gratitude. I was sitting out there and when I came back from Mexico, I had difficulty clicking into the energy here in Calgary, Alberta. And I was sitting out there, and all of a sudden, I was doing my gratitude, I was doing my positive affirmations and my manifesting my dream of what I want to bring in my life. And all of a sudden, I felt my energy click in, and there was like a hum of the frequency. And I went, I'm in the frequency. I'm in the frequency of feeling my heart, of the gratitude. And at night, when you go to bed at night, what was great about your day today? You'll
Mhm.
get up the next day, if you did that every night, and you'll think, I need to find 3 things I'm going to be grateful for tonight, even if you're depressed. Find 3 things that you're grateful for. It will build. It will build and it will start to raise you up.
Mhm. So there's some people that it seems like they just get whatever they want. So, are they just lucky? Are they a certain Enneagram? Is it that only threes
It's a
or fours
vibration.
can be, can get things because they're the achievers or whatever? Or is there certain
It's
personalities that don't manifest or
no, manifesting is a choice. It's a consciousness. Anybody can manifest. And it doesn't matter what your personality is. It is all about consciousness. It's all about um, uh, giving back. If you're depressed, go help someone else. Do something nice. Open a door. Um, I was playing pickleball today, and these 2 fellas came and they never played before. And the group is pretty competitive. They like a higher level playing. And I said, I'll teach you how to play. And I took them off and got someone else to help them do something. And I came out, who benefited? They benefited, but
uh-huh.
I felt great being able to help someone, right? Find out something where you can, if it's wintertime, shovel somebody's walk, open a door. Um, it's the little things that you can do that can start to raise you up.
Got it. So what do you think about like luck? Are there some people that are just luckier or they're just better at manifesting?
You know, that's so funny because I've had people say to me, oh, you lead such a great life. You're so lucky. I look at them and I go, uh-uh. I consciously create my life. I consciously make a choice to heal my limiting beliefs, to get rid of the trauma and drama, to stay positive. And do I have dips? You bet I do. but I have mentors as well. And I go to them and say, you know what, I'm in a spin right now, and I'm not able to get myself out. And I work with them, and they shift me around. I have an energy shift. My emotions, instead of being up here or all over the place, level out, and then I can go on again.
Mhm.
It's it seems like it's very easy for some people. If you want to go into the spiritual perspective of things, the spiritual perspective is that we choose the themes and the life lessons in our life, in this current life. And so for some people, maybe in this lifetime, they are meant to have this life where they do seem luckier, but they also have choices of what, are they giving back? Are they doing other things? My belief is everybody will be challenged. We are here, this life, it's the school of life here. And I believe everybody has life lessons to learn, whether that's losing a partner, a business, whatever it is. I just believe we are all here. And when they come, it's what's my life lesson? What do I need to learn from this? How can I grow from this? With those friends of 25, 30 years who walked away from me, could have I gone into the victim and been, oh, they didn't understand. They knew I was unhappy. Why are they being so hard on me? Blah, blah, blah. I could have did the victim, and I chose not to. And that's why my life shifted so quickly.
Yeah. And then, I'm guessing also changing location probably did help you also to heal, because it's not fun to be around people who are not supporting you anymore.
Well, we were still in the same group, as I mentioned, because my sons were competing. It made it very difficult for me to walk in immediately, or in the beginning. It made it more difficult for my kids because they didn't like how people were treating me.
Mhm.
They were torn, right? Um, but it was a growth thing for me. I just stayed within my own beliefs, that I knew this was best for, even though my husband didn't see it at the time, it was best for him too. It forced him to grow.
Yeah. So what about him now? So how is this changed him? You said you kind of took him through the Enneagram, but how does that change him?
I've seen a lot of growth in him, through the years. And, I look at him and think, if he would have did a quarter of that while we were together, we'd still be happily married. But that's not life.
Hmm.
Right? We learn from our life challenges, and we make decisions about those challenges. And he learned, he went into different relationships, and he had some, but what I'm happy to say is we're very friendly. We still are there for our kids. Um, we would help each other out. I don't call him a friend as such because I don't share my life with him.
Hmm.
But I do value him as the father of my children, for the life he gave me, for many things.
Hmm. So now you have your new vision board and you're single. So I know there's a lot of single people out there and they're thinking, okay, how do I manifest this person? Like, how do I put that together? Because, I think when we're younger, we have these pie in the sky, almost there's not a man that even exists like that, tall, dark, handsome, money, whatever it is we want. And as someone in a mature age now, not in your 20s, how are you creating that? And
Yes. So unfortunately, for people who have not done the inner work, they're bringing a lot of baggage with them. I had one of my clients say to me, I hear about women who have these big hearts. That's not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing women who go, you have to make up for every bad relationship I've had in the past. We're pulling the baggage, and men too, not just women, men too. You're pulling your baggage. It's the high expectations of what this person needs to be in order to be a partner for you. And when you start working on that for yourself, you can bring in. I brought in a partner for a short term, which was one of the two men actually, one of the best experiences of my life. And when I met him, he was 16 years younger. And I said to him on the first time we met, you'll be a gift to me and I'll be a gift to you. And I don't know how long our relationship will last because I was on my way to Mexico in the next month. And so it did not last long because he ended up going back into his relationship. But what it taught me was to open my heart, to not be closed off, to be open to the experience, even if it was for a short time. Be open to the experience, value the experience for what it is, take the life lessons, and to be compassionate for this other person who's also searching, who's also had some wounds and rejections and all of those things.
Yeah, I think that's key. Just empathy, kindness. I
Yeah.
know.
And you can manifest, you can set out certain parameters for the relationship that you would like to have with someone, and then allow the universe to bring that to you. Be open to it. I have a friend who, she's in a beautiful relationship, and she said, it was nothing like I ever expected. And yet he's the love of her life.
Yeah. And that's exciting and
Yeah.
magical when those things happen.
Yeah.
So if people wanted to connect with you, or, this is the part where you kind of mentioned some of them earlier, but what services do you offer now and how do people connect with you?
My website is eileenhead.com. And I have a wealth of different coaching programs, deepen your relationship, stay or go, attract the love of your life, live your best life, the Enneagram. I do personality readings for individuals and couples. As a single, might I mention, you need to know the value of what you bring to a relationship. What relationship traits does your personality have? You need to own that. You need to know those of what and which other personalities are more compatible with you. You can be compatible with any other type. It's not like the zodiac, but it takes consciousness, right? But there's some that you resonate with more. And live your best life and create your vision. I love teaching manifesting and vibration, and that's what I'm passionate about now. I see a lot of people in their mid 50s who are going, is this all there is? I've worked hard. Is this all there is? And there's a low grade depression. They're in this pattern and cycle of being stuck, feeling trapped, not knowing how to change the situation. You can never change anything with the thoughts you currently have. You're just going to repeat the cycle. You need to be open to new information, new ways of thinking. You need to hold yourself to a higher consciousness and to work on those things consciously until they become natural. And so I have many programs. I've got a free Enneagram test, and I'll verify it with you afterwards. I've got a free call, like hop on a call with me and let's see where you're at. And I'm also going to be doing some healing, an initial healing session with people to find out where are they stuck and see if I can move that energy for them.
Nice. So now I have a personal question for you. What gives you the most happiness and fulfillment in your life at this point?
It's that feeling that I have, the happiness and joy that I've created in my life. It's I get up in the morning, I go play pickleball, love pickleball. I come back and I work on my business, love coaching my business. I am a high level country dancer. My record is 23 spins in a row. I used to be a performing team. I went out to in my flower garden, I planted some herbs and I was cooking something. And I went out and cut some dill yesterday. And there was a feeling of, this just gives me a lot of joy just to have fresh dill to put into my food. It doesn't need to be major. I do thrift shopping. I call it treasure hunting. There's things that I've got that I look at a vase and feel a feeling, I just love that vase. Did it cost me a lot? No, that doesn't matter. It's the feeling of having that particular thing. You
Mhm.
start creating a life where you find enjoyment, where you find passion, where you find fun, where you find adventure.
Mhm. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast today and for all your wisdom and experience.
I'm passionate about helping people and about you need to know you can lead an elevated life. You need to know that it's there for you to create, but it's up to you to take responsibility to create the life you desire.
Yeah. So I have one last question before we complete. What is your best advice on living an incredible, amazing life?
Just what I've said before, on a day-to-day basis, keep the vibration high, the frequency high, the gratitude, and have a dream. You need to have your dreams. And, my Mexico dreams on my vision board, that was 2017. They didn't start happening till 2021. So have short-term dreams, have long-term dreams. A lot of people are afraid to dream because they think, I've had so much disappointment in my life. If they don't come true, I don't want to be hurt anymore. What does that do? That
Mm,
keeps you over here in a victim state, in a low vibrational state. Have a dream. Have a dream for next week. Have a dream for a year. Have a career dream, a relationship dream, another thing that came through for me was I wanted to go to Italy and Croatia. And I thought, well, I don't have a lot of money. And the pickleball group, all of a sudden, we're putting together a group. Do you want to come? How much is it going to cost? Okay, I think I can make that happen. And off we went and we rented this big villa in Italy. And we had this most amazing trip. I didn't need to know the how.
mhm.
You need to learn how to start putting it out there and letting the dream be out there to come to you, to let the universe and spirit bring it to you.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Eileen.
I've loved being on here. Thank you so much.
And we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, bye for now.